Welcome to the full moon in Cancer on January the 6th. Now, this is our first full moon of 2023. Cancer, cardinal water, opposing the cardinal energy of Capricorn, brings us an opportunity to work with our emotions. Now, this is one of the areas that I am really fascinated with, especially with the Shadow Project. And it actually coincides with the first day of the Shadow Project launch, which I was going to schedule it on the 6th, but now I'm going to have to move it to the 7th because I am hosting a full moon ritual on the 6th. So the times did unfortunately impact one another, but it is a beautiful way to start the Shadow Project as well as this full moon ritual, which won't disappoint. So the link will be below. Hopefully you can join the ritual and or the Shadow Project. But the full moon in Cancer is going to be a really great time to work with the emotions. Now, Cancer is the cardinal water. It's the first water sign in the zodiac calendar, meaning it is the first moment where we get to explore our emotions. When you think of the order of the zodiac calendar, of course, starting with Aries, moving into Taurus, the earth, and then into Gemini, and now the water, into our water aspect within ourselves. And the water is representative of our emotions, of our intuition, and our spiritual self, our psychic abilities, our intuitive abilities. And because Cancer is the first water sign in the zodiac calendar, it is a very important energy to work with for getting in touch with our emotions. So tuning in with our emotions, and our emotions lead to our intuition. Our emotions, our intuition is very much connected. So when we work with our emotions, we can understand ourselves in a deeper way. We can also understand human connections in a deeper way. We can also sense moments around us using our intuition as our guidance system. So our emotions, it's very crucial to understand our emotions. And this coincides with the Shadow Project as well because of the importance of understanding our emotions. And when we've gone through life, when we've gone through traumas or difficulties in our life throughout childhood, throughout our entire life, then it's easy to sweep our emotions aside. It can become very habitual. It can become very normal for us to avoid emotions or to not even understand how to really go into them, to understand them, to work with emotions in a productive way. Our sensitivity is one of our most beautiful gifts that we have, truly, to speak from the heart, to connect with our heart, to connect with loved ones, to heal, to deepen our spiritual practice, and to fine-tune our intuition. And that's why the emotional aspect of ourselves is so important to work with. But as I mentioned, we've gone through a lot of hits in our life, and it may be difficult to understand how to work with emotions. And emotions do relate to our triggers that we have within ourselves. And I'm sure you've heard this before. I've mentioned it many times as well. But when our mind starts to move into old subconscious beliefs and patterns and stories of the past, then our emotions become triggered. And then we live in the emotions because it can become very addicting. If we don't know how to work with our emotions, we keep reliving emotions of the past or reliving stories of the past and finding ourselves in this loop and in the cycle of the thoughts, the stories, and our emotions without understanding how to work with it, without understanding how to find a way out, or working through emotions or times of transformation in a healthy way. Now, the more that we get in touch with our emotions, meaning the sensitivity, understanding our feelings, understanding where things are coming from, processing emotions in a healthy way, allowing our emotions to guide us and to lead us, and also the connection with our body. I don't want to forget, we are in Capricorn season. We do have the earth factor. Our emotions are very much connected with our body. And our body speaks to us all the time. The closer of a connection that we can develop with our emotions, our feelings, our senses, and these are all of our senses within ourselves, then the deeper connection we'll have with our body to heal ourselves, to understand what's happening within ourselves. And again, leading to our interpersonal relationships. So especially with love, understanding how to work with matters of the heart, working with the heart that may be wounded and that may be closed, and working in a way to open it up more. Now, Cancer archetype, of course, is the shell. And if you have Cancer in your chart, then you're going to know exactly what I'm saying when there's the aspect of Cancer that can be very protective and very sheltered within the shell, right? So Cancer also has a very strong aspect of the home, which is tied into the shell. It's the home of safety, of security. And it can be very easy to fall into the safety and security of home and being very closed in that aspect, in that regard. So it's also very important to reflect and to see where can we open up for more relationships, maybe for deeper relationships, and maybe more intimacy with maybe a partner or relationship, or even within ourselves. So it may be a good time to reflect and see where you can step out of your shell, where you can break your shell, where you can even maybe get out a little bit more, or even become closer to people in a more deeper and meaningful way. Because it's easy, if we've been hurt in the past, to shut down. It's easy to build that shell, to build that wall of protection around us so that we don't feel hurt and pain again. But hurt and pain are only unresolved wounds that we haven't processed yet, that we haven't resolved and we haven't fully let go of, or we haven't understood. So this is the dance that we are in, understanding more about ourselves, understanding more about the aspects of life, what we've gone through in the past, how our past is affecting today, and how we can work with these energies for releasing and for deeper understanding within ourselves and within our journey forward, and what we're wanting to manifest in the life that we are truly in alignment with, or that we are desiring. Another aspect of Cancer has to do with relationships, family, close relationships. And that's why the heart and emotions are so crucial to work with at this time, so that you can deepen these relationships, so that maybe you can heal these relationships. Now, this full moon in particular full moons are all about releasing. So we do have a full moon that is offering us a time for releasing. So we can work with it in regard to releasing old emotions or attachments, or even old stories that might be surfacing from time to time, really being conscious of where that is coming from, what the old stories are, what the emotions are as a result. So working with this full moon to maybe releasing these old stories that may be coming to the surface. You can also use this full moon to work with what you need to express with regards to love, with regards to connection, with regards to interpersonal relationships or intimate relationships. So this is going to help break the walls or break the barriers and allow for more love for more creation to happen. So it's a beautiful time, again, like I said, to connect with the emotions. I am going to be offering the ritual on the 6th, so hopefully you can join. I'm going to leave the link below, but it is a beautiful time to connect with this energy and again, deepen your spiritual practice, your personal practice, and also create a greater sense of self-knowledge and self-awareness, and especially heightening the intuition, right? So the intuition is our guide always, and the deeper that we can go within our practice, the greater our senses become, the greater our intuitive abilities will also become. Keep in mind too, in January, we are, of course, in the first month when looking at numerology. First month, number 1. 1 is all about initiation, new beginnings, and we have a universal month, number 8, in January. So I will be recording a separate video on January, but 8 is all about personal power, prosperity. It's the infinity sign on its side. Everything is in motion. So what we put out into the universe, our emotions, our thoughts, our intentions, our actions, have some kind of effect that is going to be created in our outer world, or that we are going to attract in return. So be aware of the energy. It's a very powerful time to be in alignment with what you want to create. Now with Cancer, it's going to have to do with around the home, love, our intuition, our emotions, healing, maybe, really projecting into the future, the kind of person you want to be, maybe resolved of old wounds or emotions of the past, but also with relationships and love especially. So it also could be family, healing family wounds, family ancestral wounds, or child self, however that resonates with you. But this is, again, a beautiful time to work with that aspect within ourselves. And remember that 8 being in effect is what we put out is what we get back. So if we're consciously working on releasing and being aware and getting real with what is within ourselves that we need to let go of, and the ego will sometimes play in, the ego will like to hold on to old memories or old emotions, or be a bit stubborn sometimes about these things. Just get real and go in with self, and void of ego. Let it go. Let go of the old. Even if you need to express yourself, say something, matters of the heart, it's a perfect time to do that, because what you put out into the universe is what you get back, right? So just be aware of that law of attraction energy that's going to be in full effect in the month of January. All right, so I'm wishing you all the best during this full moon and beyond. Again, check out the link below for the ritual, and I will be seeing you very soon. Take care.